The captain will kind of gather himself, and you see him kind of lean to the side and quickly grab his coat and put it on as he comes out the door again. And will quickly run past you upstairs to the quarterdeck.
I follow.
You will arrive up top. Stanton is still at the helm. That is still just like you presume, maybe just past midnight or so. Stanton will kind of give a half salute. Artemis will shout out for him. Stanton, did you see anyone come up here in the last few hours? Any activity at all? Stanton kind of gives kind of a concerned look. No, Captain. What's the problem? Captain will say, kind of hesitantly, I think someone's trying to pilfer from our new guy here. Oh! Stanton looks kind of worried. Artemis says, well, best way to do this is old-fashioned investigation, I suppose. To which he will storm past you and quickly head downstairs.
I follow suit.
He will make it downstairs to the lower deck once more and kind of just stop short of the steps. And just essentially start barking like an old-fashioned sea captain for these lazy muggets to get up out of their beds, to which everyone starts scrambling out of these doors in their cabins and quickly starts running upstairs to get up top as quickly as they can, like this captain means business. Captain will stand just about so, where everyone will kind of get up and form a line. You're pretty much flabbergasted right now. This pretty easygoing captain is just all of a sudden barking like a madman at all these people, calling them obscenities, many names. Everyone just kind of lines up like as if it were normal. Stanton is still up at the helm, but will gather at the edge of the balcony there, so he can oversee everybody. And give me one more second here. Some live action editing skills, people. Gotta love it.
For the record of everybody listening, I can't see what he's doing. So you don't need to worry about that.
Yes, we didn't claim to be professional, but hey, it works.
Yep.
Oh, come now. What? Doesn't want to take my idea. I think my internet's trying to die because I'm not getting any responses. Oh, terrible. Let's do this the old-fashioned way. Ah, curses, it's not going to work! No, my plans. Well, kind of a buzzkill, but it works just the same. Everyone lines up in an orderly fashion, but there appears to be one more person than normal sitting at the end next to Pelly.
Really? Because I can't see it.
That's the thing, I can't get that token up. Professionalism,
Oh
folks.
no!
That's my that's not. Okay, at this point, everyone's just kind of lined up in their little panic, like, what's going on? Who knows what? And the captain starts shouting out, we have reason to believe that someone has taken something from our passenger here, and we're not going to have any form of pilfering on my ship. Is that clear? Everyone kind of shouts out a yes, even the wizard. Everyone starts looking about like unsure because of their general concerned looks on their faces. It appears that, they're not ones to actually steal from people.
I just step forward a little bit and say, I'm not. It is very upsetting that the statue, very important to my mission, has been taken, but the fiery dog of hell that sets ablaze things has been taken as well, and I am concerned for your ship.
A lot of them are obvious. Everyone seems very upset by this as well. Now seeing that this ship could go up in flames potentially. At which point you hear just toe tapping behind you.
I wheel around.
There's another one of these investigator guys, just in a mask, just kind of standing there, plain as day, with your box in hand, with the dog sitting right on top of it, like nothing ever happened. The captain whirls around as well as everyone else, kind of gives a gasp, like this thing just appeared out of nowhere. The captain will now shout out, actually will draw his sword and actually demand, "Who are you and how did you get on my ship?" The thing just stands there, menacingly.
I draw my sword as well and prepare for myself.
Doesn't say anything and it does not move. A few of the crew members are really unsure. Is this some kind of trick? What is this? Do you know this guy? What is... All trying to fish for answers that are just not being given.
Return that artifact and my dog.
It does not move. It does not say a word. This thing is just standing there with the box, just blatantly in its hand. The dog just happy as ever, kind of asleep on top.
Why won't you answer us?
The captain seems to be getting infuriated as well. At this point, the captain will now call over for his crew to subdue this guy. Murdstone will kind of wander over and kind of palm the box out of this thing's hands and just kind of hand it over to you as he now kind of binds this thing's hands behind its back.
I pick up the puppy quickly in one hand and slide him back into my satchel. And I open the box to make sure that it's still in there.
The artifact is indeed still in the box. It's untouched. A lot of the crew members have kind of gathered around now, wondering as what this absolute stranger is doing on the ship now, as it doesn't seem to be doing much of anything. The captain is really getting in its face, demanding answers, which it is not giving.
I check the stone on my wrist.
Stone is quiet.
Okay.
The captain is getting very angry and is shouting some good obscenities towards this thing, probably trying just to provoke it. As it's being essentially harassed by these guys, it will actually turn its head ever so slowly and just stare you down with its little smiley face mask.
Mildly unnerved, I ask, "What is it you want with this statue?"
The thing finally speaks, to which everyone who was previously talking or making any noise kind of shuts up now. As kind of a chill sets the vibe of the ship now, as this thing ever so quietly speaks. We found it! A very loud voice. And we immediately began thrashing about, trying to get free of Murdstone. Wildly.
What? So they were looking for this.
This thing is kicking up a storm. It is trying its hardest to try and get free. Murdstone is holding fast, and a few of the members have stepped back, trying to get it out of its reach of kick.
I want to pull out the runestone that Lyle gave me.
Um, okay, let's see. Whatever you think's gonna help. Reflex, strength, roll me a d20.
Reflex. 8. Eh.
Alright, as you pull this thing out, this masked figure actually wildly kicks and actually kicks the stone out of your hand. It
Where did it land?
it kind of rolls more towards Lenora, kind of just on the grate somewhere. You're more concerned with this thing kind of flailing in your face now, practically using Murdstone as leverage as this thing's wildly kicking. You now notice this thing is practically emitting feathers now. Like, just feathers are just appearing around it.
Okay, I have an idea. I want to pull out my obsidian dagger and guard myself with it to his kicks. So if he winds up kicking me, he'll wind up kicking the dagger at the pointy bits.
Okay. You brandish your obsidian dagger, kind of in a defensive mode. Um, this thing happens to kind of double over a cheap shot against Murdstone, actually getting free of him as Murdstone gets kind of thrown into the door here. And this thing kind of just jumps out and kind of crouches in this very wild-like stance as this thing actually holds its arms kind of above its head in a very hunched position. This thing is still looking at you with this really weird smiley face mask. We found it! We found it! We found it! And just starts wildly shouting out, We found it! We found it! We found it! It starts darting around like it's expecting something, or something's wrong with it, or...
I I shot out, "We've got to put him down!"
At which point, the captain is actually just gonna straight up try and cold clock this guy. And straight up roll a 17 and downright sock this guy right in the face. To which point the mask will actually fall off of its face. Um, roll perception to see what you see, or how clear you see whatever this is.
3.
Okay, as far as you can tell, it's a black void of whatever this thing's face is. Would you like to try again after you blink a few times, or...
Rub my eyes real quick to readjust to the darkness and roll 11.
Okay, that will actually do it. You now visibly see this thing has a beak, like a bird. This thing actually is got like a bird-like face. It does not appear to be human of any kind. It looks animalistic of a bird. To which point, this thing will actually now shriek. This very unpleasant shriek. A lot of members will kind of stagger backwards and hold their ears as this thing is freaking out now.
I want to try and one-shot him, slicing motion with my obsidian dagger.
Roll a d20 for me. Let's see if we can do that.
5.
No. You cautiously try to take a stab, but not good enough, as this thing is flailing so much now. It's like producing these same blackened feathers until its arms literally split in two and form wings. This thing horridly transforms before your eyes into this gigantic crow of some kind, this monstrous bird that is horrifying in all manners. It is ratty looking, it looks like death in bird form. This thing is flailing. A few people will give their distance at this point. Roll initiative, everybody. At this point, just pick who you want to be between. In the character list to the side. Do you have a character list to the side?
I'm about to pull it up. I gotta do a little bit of a fixing here. Let's see here. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Message board. Click. Wrong one. That's the right one. That is... I want to apologize for everybody. To everybody. There we go. Open Sesame. Alright, it should be loading. It's loading up now. Alright, so what is it you want me to be doing?
You're essentially rolling initiative. Just pick two characters you would like to be between.
Two characters I want to be between.
In line of initiative.
Right. I want to be between... I'll be between, Pelly and Rothwell. Or whatever.
Or
Yeah.
just second, let me rephrase this then, I guess. Who do you want to be after?
Oh, I'll just be after Rothwell.
Okay. So then, as initiative goes, Rothwell will go first. And at this point, pull this gigantic sniper rifle dealy off her back and try to give off a good shot at this gigantic monstrosity bird that is still shrieking and somehow crying out, "We found it, we found it." She will give a 17, which does hit. We'll give, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and do this. Alright, everybody, mathematics time. I'll take a good 20 off of that. It's like just a bullet to the face.
I wish it had a health bar. That would have been nice.
Alright, you should be able to see health on this thing, do you not?
I do not.
You do not. It is a token. Can you even see the giant bird?
Oh, I see the giant bird.
Okay.
It's taking up a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, feel free to... Well, then, in that case, then I suppose it doesn't need health. I got that down.
I'll consider it a mid boss, and I won't know, and I don't know.
It is your go.
I am going to try and slash at it with my obsidian dagger again.
Okay, roll it.
Roll away. Give me something good. 10.
No, you actually cannot hold your stance good enough in fear of getting knocked over.
Ah, darn.
Alright, next is Florentine. She will actually out of nowhere, by your standards, will use magic and try to blast this thing upside the face. With a lousy 8, will misfire with a bolt of blue flame. Completely miss. Lenora will jump at it and try and slash. With a lousy 4, she's actually almost knocked prone by this thing flailing. Helly's gonna bide his time this turn and kind of just back away and hobble kind of to the edge of the ship, away from this thing. Stanton will try his best and shoot it with a crossbow. It's just a miss with a 14 as he's up on the quarterdeck. He's almost afraid of hitting everybody else. Alright. Beggs, in his drunken stupor, will try and throw a bottle at this thing. Measly 11, he will completely just throw the wrong way. Alright. Murdstone will practically try and tackle this thing with a 15, which does hit. He will jump on this thing's back and be trying to wrestle this thing to the ground. Now it will be a strength contest, to which Murdstone takes the cake and now has this thing pinned on the deck, but this thing is still flapping wildly. Artemis will just try to slice into its wing. Straight up. With a 19, gives a good gash into it. Get some more health off, about that much. Silas will actually pull out a small little piece of paper from one of his sleeves. And with a meager 6, will bide his time. Alright, this creature will try and knock Murdstone off with another strength contest. Which actually does win. He will actually knock him off. And will actually just try and bowl you over as it tries to get off the ship, Scaithe. This thing will just try and knock you over. With a meager 6. So you barely miss as the thing begins to take off and just vacates the ship entirely. Everyone looks on as this thing kind of just flies out of sight, shrieking off into the distance. At this point, everyone's thinking the same thing. What the heck was that? Then immediately take their attention back to you with the box.
I guess since now everyone's in this, I open up the box and just show them the bird statue.
So does that mean these things are going to come back? Florentine questions, very upset.
I'm sorry to get you all involved in this, but I think so, and just probably going to have friends.
Everyone seems very unsure about this and is not quite sure what they should say.
I want to trottle over here and pick up my communication stone and try giving Lyle a call again.
Okay. The captain and Lenora will try their best kind of to say a few words to ease everybody a little bit for the time being. You easily pick up the rune and basically get a voicemail. No one picks up right away, but it tells you to leave a message.
It's like, Lyle, those mask people just attacked us. Apparently it's a giant bird, and they're after the artifact I mentioned, and that's important to this mission of that I'm on right now. It just came, it just attacked us, and it's gonna come back with friends.
Alright, immediately roll whatever you think will help. Probably reflex.
Reflex it is.
To set the standard.
12.
Okay. 12 will do it. Something immediately tells you just to hit the ground, and you just drop prone where you are. Everyone else will respectively try to do the same in succession. Okay, let's see how well this goes. Alright, up first is Rothwell with a measly 11. Okay, No. Rothwell is thrown to this side of the ship as another giant bird careens across and basically just swipes her to her feet. Good deal of damage from that. Right, Florentine will get a 12. She will drop in time. She is safe. Lenora will get a 13. Just make it. Pelly will make a 16. He's only